Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Club. This is the place everyday real estate investors gather to share their best stories, biggest insights, and favorite tactics to grow a portfolio of cash-flowing properties in today's market. Here's your host, Gabe Peterson.
All right, we are back with another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. Today is very special because we got Mark Stubler here with us. Mark is the founder of Joe Homebuyer Franchise, a father of four, and he's a Utah native. I almost said Seattle because we were just talking about Seattle, but no, he's from Utah. So I'm super excited to have Mark here. Mark, thank you very much for hopping on the show.
Hey, good man, Gabe. No, appreciate it and excited to dive in. I love Seattle. So if you would have said I was from there, I would have been okay with it.
Okay.
Great
good.
area. Yeah.
Good. No offense taken, then. That's great. Mark, I told you before we hopped on the show, we love hearing people's stories, how they got into real estate. And so I'm sure you got a good one starting up Joe Homebuyer. So why don't you jump into it? How'd you get started in real estate?
Well, brother, I was like most of us. My first stab or attempt at real estate did not go overly, it wasn't overly productive.
It always seems to be the case, right?
Right. But yet we stick with it. We love it. I mean, there's just, I have to tell you, I feel so fortunate to have found real estate. It just affords so much opportunity. But dude, my first go at it resulted in a property we couldn't sell because it was now, we were leveraged in it more than it was worth. We had to convert it into a rental and try to just, not lose money on it. And luckily the market appreciated enough. Yeah. And we were able to keep a renter in there and eventually sell it a couple of years later and make a few $1,000. But that was my first attempt at it.
Hey, at least you were in the black. That is, that's a saving grace right there.
Yeah. So I lived to tell the tale, but my actual true experience in real estate happened about 5 years after that. I had a rental by then. I lived to tell the tale with that first attempt, but I've just had a lot of experience in sales. In fact, my story starts with fencing and decking. I sold vinyl fencing and decking, and the company I was with did a fantastic job. They were a great company, but I just got to the point where I needed to become an entrepreneur. They took me from an outside sales rep and said, hey, oh, by the way, you need to run one of the inside sales shifts. And that included being behind the counter, selling these $10 parts to customers. And I realized, wait a minute. I don't work for myself. I'm not autonomous. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm having to report as a pencil sharpener behind this desk and take us inside sales shift. And it changed. It was a paradigm shift for me. And it compelled me to become an entrepreneur. And luckily I found real estate. That's
awesome, man. So, people, when they get into any new endeavor, they get a taste of what it's like. I've always found that it is super important to have a first win. You did not have that first win. And so how did you, after you did that flip and you saw that you guys spent more on, probably on the rehab, right. How did you get the motivation to get back into it?
Well, luckily I had a trusted friend. For those of you that are your listeners that follow different podcasts and different influencers, Cody Hoffine is a friend and business partner of mine. And really, we had sold fencing and decking together. That's the funny thing. We met that way. We stayed in touch. He's got into wholesaling and doing real estate investment before I did. And then I stayed in touch with him and said, hey, what are you doing? I'm on the path out. What do you suggest I do? And he says, you ought to try this. You ought to check this out. So I got going on it. And a few months later, we decided, hey, let's just partner up and get this done. So, So I didn't have such a bad experience that it scared me off. I did have to put myself in a position to have some cash. I sold my boat, put renters in my basement, put a little money in savings because I was in a position that I was used to making a paycheck and I was paid pretty well. But it took some sacrifice and definitely had some risk, but it worked out and I feel fortunate. Again, but real estate's just that way. I mean, the fact that you can turn profits as quickly as you can, just a unique vehicle for making money.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, even so, like having to take that leap, I know for me, taking the leap out of a job where I got the W-2 paycheck every 2 weeks and then into something, there was no guarantee. That leap itself is just terrifying. No, whatever way you look at it, it's always scary. But when you do it, anybody that does it, especially in real estate, it seems like, we all have good stories once we get through that initial fear. So
that's right.
And you had mentors, it sounds like, which is one of the things that got you through the kind of the lull there.
Makes a big difference.
Yep. And that is so crucial. If anybody out there, you're in real estate, you're just getting started, and, you're trying to figure out how to go forward, I highly recommend just looking for a mentor. Any mentor, anybody in the game right now, it's the easiest way to go forward. So Mark, you did that. You found your partner. What happened after that? How did you get to the point where you actually, you said it says franchise in the title. I've never heard of a home buying business being franchised. So I'm really interested in that kind of like model.
Well, I'm excited to share it with you. Yeah. So we started in 2016, knocked it out of the park, had a lot of success. And we realized, hey, we're in a competitive Utah landscape. And if we're having the success, what's the best way to, increase our outreach across the country? And what I really like about the franchise model is you have strategic partners. You're invested in their efforts. And if they win and they win big, then you share in that opportunity. And so you're creating these pseudo partners all across the country. And so we started Joe Homebuyer Franchise in 2019. We're now a couple years old, and we've had some really successful franchisees all across the country. And it's been an interesting challenge and just incredible opportunity to take our system and help people employ it into their lives, their businesses, their markets, and to get, similar results or better results, and ultimately employ everything that we've done, and they can be us in their marketplace. So it's been just an incredible journey. It's this out of the box system where they can just leverage the years and time and money that we've spent. They don't have to go through the same brain damage that we did. They can learn from us.
And I can say from experience, learning from the streets, there's value in it, but damn, it hurts. It's much nicer to learn from a system that already works.
And it can be slow, right? It can take unnecessary time. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So you're working with other franchisees across the country, so I'm sure you see every single market out there. Is there any market that you're seeing in the U.S. right now that you're more excited about than others?
We have a franchisee group that has a couple territories. They own one in Tampa and Atlanta. They're crushing it. And the interesting thing is they are in pretty competitive markets, but we really like Tampa and Atlanta. Lots of the Florida markets are doing well. We're in Dallas as a corporate-owned location, as well as we have a handful of others in Texas, and they're doing some pretty exciting things in Texas. But again, I'm just excited in general. We have a couple franchisees in Phoenix, which is one of the most competitive marketplaces out there. You have some really big players down there, and yet our franchisees are getting results down there. So I would argue that it's more about how you're doing business and the systems that you have in place, the marketing strategies that you're utilizing, your exit strategies, and how you're maximizing revenue. That is almost sure the market has a factor. I'm not trying to be naive to that, but at the end of the day, some of those other things are going to be an indicator of your success more than the market you're in.
Yep. You can make real estate work in any market.
Amen.
There's probably some markets out there that it's not going to work in, but just about every market. Yep. Absolutely.
That's right.
So, do you guys only do single family or do you guys do commercial? What is your, is it mostly towards single family flips?
It is, but the natural byproduct of our marketing strategies yield us opportunities for small multifamily, and even occasionally commercial and some land projects. But the vast majority and the target for marketing is based around small multifamily and single family.
Yep, that makes sense. So as you work with a bunch of business owners who are starting from the ground up, so you see all the mistakes people make. What are some of the most common mistakes people make when they're just getting started in a flipping business, in a wholesaling business?
Well, one of the observations that I've seen, Gabe, over and over is people's fear of like committing to their business. Meaning that in our space, you've got to be committed to several functions, and one of those is investing into it. So you've got to spend money on marketing. You've got to stay consistent at managing those leads and those opportunities. But again, I get it. It's like if I told you, hey, I'm going to sell you a Subway franchise, and I'm going to ship you out all these boxes of meat and bread, and I'm going to send you this table that has a Subway logo on it. People get excited because they see their money actually go to something. In our space, I'm saying you have to invest in web and direct mail, and you don't get anything for it. You don't get a box of T-shirts that says that you own a business. You just get.
You get one letter that comes to your house.
That's right. That's what you get. And so it becomes pretty, a nervous process for people. And when they fall short to market, they fall short on their lead flow, and then you start to lose confidence, and it can be a challenge. And it's just the perpetual journey of an entrepreneur, and specifically our industry. You have to be creating the leads, and that comes in lots of forms of marketing. But that's one of the common pitfalls I've observed for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I remember when I was first getting started, and I was doing my first yellow letter mailer, and I did all this stuff, and I got my letter, the one that I wanted, and then it was time to like pay for it, and I looked at the bill, and I think it was like $1,500, and I was like, oh my God, how am I ever going to make that money back?
That's right.
But you got to do it. You got to pull the trigger, and especially for letters. I mean, when I was in single family, I'm doing commercial now. We didn't really talk much before the show, but when I was in single family, direct mail was one of the most effective marketing methods that I found. Is that the same thing that you're seeing today? Is direct mail, or are there other marketing channels that you feel are more effective?
Yeah, so we do a heavy approach on web, which includes SEO, PPC, Facebook, retargeting, all things influence on web, and then direct mail is a big part. And then our third major marketing channel is prospecting, so outbound calling, that type of thing. But all of them work. I wholeheartedly believe that. And each market has a little bit different results as to which one is the leader in that specific market. But we're really big within our franchise system to really encourage the franchisees to be diversified so that they have multiple channels delivering results for them.
Yep. That makes sense. And man, I remember when I first tried PPC, that you can easily dump some dollars into PPC if you don't know what you're doing. I'll tell you what.
Oh my heck. Yeah. So you have to be careful with any of it. You're right. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay. So where are you guys at now? Like, how many franchisees do you have out there? How many, do you guys do your own flips in your own business too? Or how does it work?
Yeah, great question. So we encourage our franchisees to have 3 major exit strategies. And right now we have 44 territories across the country. Joe Homebuyer's out there making waves. We hope to become the household name for home buying, Joe Homebuyer Franchise. So hopefully you'll see us and hear of us a little bit more. But we encourage our franchisees to do 3 major exit strategies, keep them as rentals. Obviously, we want our franchisees to become wealthy over time, to have passive income, to have, increasing their net worth, also fix and flips and wholesaling. And there's a life cycle. You're not going to start, attempting to keep everything as a rental right out the gate, because you have to have cash flow coming in. You have to have revenue and, dollars to spend. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, we understand the value of each of the major exit strategies. And then even within passive income, Airbnbs and different types of rentals and lease options. And there's a lot of ways to make money, as you know, in those strategies. So each one of them gets a little bit deeper, but those are the main concepts.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're just getting into real estate, I think there's an unwritten rule somewhere. It's a law of real estate, is your first wholesale is going to be $5,000. That's just what everybody gets. They always make $5,000 on their first wholesale.
And it's gonna cause you more. You're gonna get gray hair from it as well. That first one, if you can live to tell the tale, it can be an incredibly rewarding business. But you're right, it's $5,000 and more heartache than you can draw up on than you could predict. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome. So we're running into the end of the episode here. I do want to ask, what advice do you have for, just one piece of advice that you would give for somebody who wants to get started, down the path for creating their own home flipping, wholesaling business?
Well, I'm probably going to sound like an open or a broken record for somebody that's heard me on another podcast, but I have to tell you, I think it's personal development. And You're like, well, hold on, that has nothing to do with real estate. But I'm a big advocate of, what Jim Rohn teaches and John Maxwell of this. You get what you put in, you get what you're becoming. And it's this idea that, and again, your listeners are doing that. They're becoming students. They're students of what you're sharing with them, and those that you're hosting. I would just tell you, but it's that development as a leader, because as you start to think about a leader, think about business as a leader, think about opportunities as a leader. I don't care what industry you're in. I do think you're choosing a great industry in selecting real estate, but I think it starts with that and ends with that. So I continually am working on personal development, developing as a leader, and I think it's the catalyst to really a successful mind and working and operating using the right behaviors that are going to help drive results in any business. Yep,
absolutely. I mean, I've always thought that, mindset, it was almost a cop out. It was just like woo woo, but it's absolutely true. it's amazing once you get, once your mind expands a little bit past the level where you're at, the things that used to be hard are no longer hard. It's just something that you do. And so mindset is so important, and it's not often talked about. Well, actually it is often talked about, but can't be talked about enough because it is an extremely, extremely important thing for any entrepreneur to get their hands around.
Love it.
All right. So we ran up against the 15-minute mark, so we're going to have to jump into the quick question round. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Love it. All right. Starts out with books or just any form of education. Give me two book recommendations, one for general life wisdom and one for real estate specific.
General life wisdom, Ryan Holiday, Obstacle is the Way.
Good one.
And for business and leadership, it's John Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
I've read both of those, both great books. I really liked Ryan Holiday's book. That one was
good,
killer.
man. It's good.
All right, moving on. This one is habits. Habits form the foundation of our life. So if you could point to one thing that you do day in and day out that you feel contributes the most to your overall health, well-being, and happiness, what would that be?
10 minutes of gratitude every morning. Gratitude walk in the form of prayer, in the form of journaling. I'm telling you, if I get my mind right with what's going well, it sets the tone. So it's 10 minutes of gratitude every day.
Gratitude. I love it. All right. Next one is a little chance for you to brag because we all have Superman strengths. We all are blessed with skills that we alone can give to the world. So what is one thing that you feel you are exceptional at?
Well, I just care a lot. I care a lot about our franchisees. I care a lot about their success, and I work hard. So caring a lot translates to I put in the time. I've experienced quite a bit of success in real estate, but it's because I'm willing to put in the time. Nothing's come, overly easy, but I'm willing to put in the time because I care a lot and I work hard. Perfect, man. I love it.
All right, moving on. This one is for your younger self. So if you could go back to the Mark who had no experience in real estate, he was still, working on decks. Go back to him, look him in the eye, give him one piece of advice moving forward.
Don't be in a hurry. All of it's part of the process.
That is great advice. I wish I could tell my younger self that too. I was just so moving so fast. It's just like, bro, just chill. You're good. You're good.
Chill. That's right.
All right. This is the second to last question. And this one is about the US. There are I think I've already asked this, but we're going to ask it again anyways. Sure. There's a lot of square miles out there. So it means there's a lot of places to invest. What is the area that you are most excited in investing today?
The area that you're committed to success. It doesn't matter. I almost don't care what market. It's whatever area you're committed to succeeding and working hard.
Boom. And that's why your back door is always the best. In my opinion, it's the best place to start because you're already there. You know the area. So you might as well start where you know.
Guys, that's gold. Gabe, you nailed it.
All right. And that leads us to the last question, which is, you have given us a lot of good advice. I'm sure people want to reach out. What is the best way for people to reach out and get in contact with you?
So my name is Mark Stubler. Thank you, Gabe. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook. And also, I would love to connect with you. If you're interested in what you've heard about Joe Homebuyer, the franchise, you can find us at joehomebuyerfranchising.com. That's joehomebuyerfranchising.com, and be happy to explore what the franchise opportunity is. And if an out-of-the-box real estate system sounds attractive to you and have a partner that wants to run with you, that's what we do at Joe.
Perfect. That is joehomebuyerfranchisee.com. I'll put that URL in the show notes. So if y'all want to get in there, go ahead and click a little more in the description. It'll pull down the full description. In there, you can find the link. So that concludes it, Mark. Thank you very much for hopping on the show.
Gabe, thanks so much, my man.
Absolutely. And for everybody who's here with us today, thank you guys for showing up. You are the reason we do this. So if you have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me, Gabe at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Other than that, I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and were able to pull some actionable advice that you can go home with and apply to your own investing business. Before you go, I have a gift for you. If you're a new investor looking to get started or an established investor looking to take your business to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you available on the website. This ebook will cover how I was able to create both active and passive income in real estate with very little money to start with. In it, I will address the 3 most often cited obstacles new and veteran investors run into by showing you how to find a deal that's actually a deal, how to finance that deal with little to no money down, and how to exit a deal for maximum value. And if you get the ebook today, I'm going to bury you in bonuses, 7 of them to be exact. First, you'll get the off-market lead generation blueprint, which will take you through the exact systems and processes we use to generate off-market leads like clockwork, which is the most important skill when it comes to creating real wealth in real estate. Then you'll get the A to Z REI systems and vendors guide, which will allow you to peek under the hood of our business and see the exact tools and systems and even the vendors we use to grow our business. After that, you will get the top 100 best performing keywords pack, which will give you the exact keywords we use to target leads online and generate leads without having to lift a finger. Next, you'll get the contracts bundle for wholesaling and renting real estate, which will give you access to all of the contracts we use in the field to execute all types of transactions. After that, you'll get the Investor's Quick Analysis Calculator and Offer Tool, which will allow you to quickly calculate whether a deal is an actual deal and will allow you to create an offer automagically from those calculations. Next up, we'll give you the Investor's Daily Success Tracker, which is a tracker you can use to ensure you are taking the right actions day in and day out to reach your financial goals in real estate. And finally, you will get the Wholesaler's Template for Quick Assignment Cash, which will give you the templates we use to present our wholesale deals professionally and efficiently to our buyers. I know that is a ton of things to say. I'm glad you're able to stick with it. So you'll get both the ebook and all of those 7 free bonuses when you download the ebook today. All we charge is the admin cost to run the show. So if you are interested in the ebook and the bonus bundle, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Click on Get the ebook bundle at the top of the page and take advantage of that deal. With that housekeeping item covered, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, an even better week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. All right, before I officially sign off, I have a quick announcement to make. If you're interested in becoming a passive investor in one of my deals, my own company, Kaizen Properties, is looking for capital partners for our upcoming projects. We invest in what are known as recession-resistant assets, mainly self-storage facilities, mobile home and RV parks, and industrial properties. If you're interested in investing and would like to learn a little bit more about my company, our investing criteria, and some of the previous projects we've done, go to the Real Estate Investing Club podcast at therealestateinvestingclub.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. Click on the Invest With Us button. That'll pop up the investor form. Fill that out, and we will reach back out to you as soon as we can. Or if you prefer a little bit more of a personal touch, you can reach out to me at gabe@therealestateinvestingclub.com. So really, that is it. Again, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys during this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.